Welcome to Ichimon Japan. I'm Tony.
And I'm Ryan.
So Ichimon means one question, and every episode we ask a question about Japan. Today's question is, what are Japan's top mascots 2023 edition? Woo! Da da da!
Ta-da.
So this is I mean, if you're watching this, you probably know Japan has a ton of different mascots. You know, there's like the Sanrio type, there's the local mascots, there's the like corporate mascots. There's like, you walk around Japan, you'll see either a guy in a suit or like some little mascot drawings like all over the place, right? They're just everywhere. They're everywhere. So today, we're going to look at the results of a contest that was held right at the results were announced right at the end of October of 2023. And this is called the Yuruverse Grand Prix. So it's called the Yuruverse, like a universe. Actually, it's from Metaverse because they had a Metaverse component to this. They had like a ceremony online, I think, for that. That's why they called it that. But this is basically a rebranding of the original Japanese mascot contest that was called the Yurukyara Grand Prix. And the last year that happened was in 2020. And then they took a 3-year break and they restarted it. They rebranded it, starting it this year in 2023. And so, you know, these different mascots from around the country participate, and then there's votes, and they pick whoever's like the most popular one that year. So we're going to go through the top 5 and then bring up a few extra ones as well.
Wait a minute. Did these fictional characters need a break because of Corona?
Yeah, they were wearing masks and staying home.
Drawings and like computer images
and for them too, like the masks that Abe sent to everyone were just too small. They couldn't fit their mouths. So
that should have been a character, like mask is too small, Chan.
It's like the mouth is just, you know, obviously coming out on both sides. It's just open.
We've probably mentioned it before, but I loved that like art that went viral on Twitter that someone drew that was, I think it was Sazai-san's family. Because Abe only sent 2 masks per household. Yeah. So it was like the entire family like split into 2 groups. So it was like 3 or 4 people with the mask just like stretched all across both.
I remember that. Once. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. And by the way, me and Ryan, not your Ryan, I'm not, Kyle, not you, Kyle, who's been on
me
the
and myself.
Yeah, you and yourself. So me and Kyle produced a documentary short video about a mascot who was passing out masks and helping, you know, raise awareness of masks, I guess, during the pandemic. It was called Koronon, I think it was called. So it's not a mascot to promote Corona. It was a mascot to fight Corona.
Come on, everybody, get Corona.
Yeah. These masks have holes in them.
But I sneezed everyone personally.
I win. No, so that it's a great video, and you can find that at Japankyo Docs, DOCS. I'll try to put a link in the show notes. I'll try to remember to do that, but it's a good video. You can check it out. Anyway, so the contest was by votes. I'm not sure how many entries there were this year, but in the past, when this thing was in its peak, like you would get hundreds and hundreds, like just, you know, well over 300, 400, maybe even more entries, because all across the country, and companies, and not just like local mascots, but companies, they would, you know, try to win this because it was a good, you know, PR, good promotional kind of thing. So I don't know how many entered this year, but we're going to just introduce the top 5 and then just throw in a couple extra just for fun. So let's start with number 5. What was it, Ryan?
It is Muvio.
Yeah, Muvio. So Muvio is a little dinosaur mascot character who comes from, well, it's representing a city in Osaka. What was it called, Ryan?
Izumi-Otsu.
Izumi-Otsu, thank you. So, and apparently there's an movie festival there called the Izumi-Otsu Outdoors, Yagai Outdoors Movie Festival. And this, yeah, This mascot character is to promote that, and its mission is to travel around the world and promote, of course, Izumiyotsu as well, but also it wants to become a movie director because it's searching for its family, other dinosaurs, and in order to find its family, it wants to become a famous movie director, and that way, when it's in the press and in the media, then the dinosaur characters, its family, will say like, oh, that's Muvio, let's go find it. And interesting that it's called Muvio, even though it's a dinosaur, which didn't, back in those days didn't have movies, but I guess it's just a coincidence. So I don't know.
That's just a conspiracy theory. Dinosaurs were big movie fans.
I guess so. They all watch movies. So any thing you want to say about the appearance? It's a cute dinosaur style character.
I do think it is a cute, interesting design, but I also think like it's the least original one. Like, I do like it. I like movies. I like dinosaurs, and this one's actually kind of like an appealing kind of cute because I'm not really into Japan cute usually.
Mm-hmm.
But as I mentioned before we started this, it looks shockingly similar to two existing characters already.
Which were?
Tokage from Sumiko Gurashi, which is... I don't really know their backstory. I just know they have like a movie every year, and there's like little arts of them everywhere. There's a group of little like cutesy animal things, and there's one called Tokage, who I guess his backstory, because I looked it up, is he's a dinosaur pretending to be a lizard.
Right.
Who, in terms of like the chibi art style, looks just like this guy. But even more similar to this guy is Bub from like the old Bust a Move games.
Right.
So I'm guessing those are his parents.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think. That Muvio is looking for his family, and they're there, but they don't watch movies. They just play video games. So
yeah, he picked the... Well, I mean, the one guy's in movies, so...
Oh, true. Yeah. The Sumiko Gurashi, right? They have their movies.
Yeah.
So well then, Muvio needs to get famous so that then they are both showing movies at the same theater, and they go like, oh my God, you're my dad and you're my son, and yeah. Oh, and apparently, so Muvio is a 5-year-old boy dinosaur. So it was only born 5 years ago.
Is that how old the festival is?
No.
Okay.
It's just always 5 years old. It's one of those things. So
so he's been around for 30 years, but he is 5.
Yeah. So it's the eternal 5 years old. Yeah. So that's
he doesn't look that childish. He looks young, but not like 5.
Well, because it's dinosaur years, so who knows?
Okay.
Yeah. So just for the podcast listeners, I am going to release this on YouTube as well, and I'll put up the picture of each of the characters on the screen. So if anybody's watching on YouTube, you already know that. But for the audio only listeners, which is most people, almost everybody's audio only, it's also on YouTube, just so you know. All right.
Before we move on, I will say of the top 5, I think he's my favorite.
Let me see. He is the cutest.
I do like I do like number 2 a bit too.
Okay, well let's keep going, then I'll talk about my own favorite. So number 4.
Okay. Am I introducing? It is.
Yeah, please.
Sadandy.
Yeah, Sadandy. So this one's weird. Like, I don't like the design.
I don't like anything about this guy.
Yeah, I don't get this one at all.
He kind of looks like a character in like Sesame Street or something.
Yeah, he could pass. Yeah, so Sadandy is like, it's such a weird, like, it's such a mishmash like backstory. So it's representing Sadamisaki Hanto, I think, right? Sadamisaki, I think that's the...
Yeah, Sadamisaki.
Yeah, Sadamisaki is the name of this peninsula in what prefecture was it? Ehime Prefecture.
Ehime.
Yeah, Ehime Prefecture. Itomancho, was it? I think,
yes,
was that the name of the town? Yeah, Itomancho. So it's a town in the city in Prefecture Ehime, but specifically it's in this peninsula area, right?
It's a peninsula in a town in a prefecture, like
it's a Matryoshka thing. Anyway,
his territory is quite small.
Yeah. But so apparently it's this migratory bird fairy that came down to the peninsula and decided to stay there, and uses its like pinwheel, like those little like spinny pinwheel toy things. That's also a magnifying glass to look for nice places in this peninsula. But then also it was doing like, I guess, almost like bodybuilding and like training in order to gain the power to transform and I guess get superpowers. And then it also has like a baby, like a kid named Chibi Dandi. Chibi means small, so it's like a smaller version of itself. Yeah, it's like a bird fairy, but it just, I don't know, it just doesn't quite look like a bird to me.
Yeah, for our audio only fans, there is nothing even remotely bird-like about this. It's like a guy in a trench coat.
Yeah, with a mustache, I think, right?
Yeah, he's got a mustache.
Yeah.
His hat has like a lighthouse on it.
Yeah, that
which
maybe
I guess
that's
is
a
in the
local
peninsula,
thing.
but not mentioned in his description.
Yeah.
And he's very low detail. He's basically an orange blob wearing a trench coat.
Yeah, and so Sadamisaki is the name of the peninsula, right? So Sadandy is the name of the character. So Sada is from there. But then the Dandi comes from the word dandy. So that means usually that's used to refer to kind of maybe a middle-aged, well-dressed, kind of fashionable, maybe like a fancy
like a
guy,
dashing man or something.
Yeah, dashing man, something like that. So
yeah,
I guess that's the inspiration for the aesthetic. Looks like this, the mustache and this guy in a trench coat kind of thing. But then it's got this bird angle that doesn't. I don't get the bird.
There's
thing.
no bird element at all. There's no wings. There's no beak. There's nothing.
Yeah. And so I don't know. And to me, like, this should not be number 4.
Yeah, maybe it's because he just doesn't represent what he's supposed to represent, and people thought that was funny.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or maybe like the entire town of
that's the thing.
Itomoncho just like really loves this guy, and they all voted as a giant block for him.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, this is again voting. So if they can really get a good force of people organized to vote, then I guess that really pushes it up.
He brings up the fun topic of how dandy, a word that hasn't been in common use in English for like 200 years, is very commonly used in Japanese.
Yeah, you hear it all the time. Like there's a well-known anime called Space Dandy as well. So yeah, dandy is used pretty often. So I don't know. That Sadandy was number 4, and I don't particularly like him. Sorry, Sadandy.
He's not like a bad one. He's just he's not just a good one.
Like, nothing of him resonates with me, and including the design. Unfortunately, like, I'm not saying it's bad. It's like, hey, go for it, Sadandy. But to me, it just doesn't resonate with me.
Is the town based on pinwheels? Because I'm just like, nothing about him is bird-like. Like,
yeah, I don't get the pinwheel thing either. It might be a local thing that I just don't know about. So yeah, sorry. But anyway, that's Sadandy. What's number 3?
I'm going to read it exactly as it's written on my notes from you.
Yeah.
That it is Echigon, not Echigon.
So there's a lot to explain here. All right, so Echigon, Echigon in Romaji, that's the name of the character. And then, but if you add in Romaji, if you were to add another C there, Echigon, Echi means like kind of perverted or sexy or kind of lewd, and so there's a fine line between Echigon and Echigon, which is a totally different character. That was my little joke there. But anyway, Echigon, no, not Echi. Not Echigon. Echigon.
This is a joke from you, right? It's not like he's constantly correcting people like in his backstory.
Well, not in the official backstory, but maybe local people make that joke a lot. I hope they do. That was totally me though. So Echigon, it represents what was the name of the place in Niigata Prefecture, right? Kawasaki City was the name of the place. Yeah. So Kawasaki City in Niigata Prefecture.
Kashiwazaki is what you.
Kashiwazaki, sorry, Kashiwazaki in Niigata Prefecture. And the old kind of when Japan was provinces back in the day, it was known as Echigo. That area was known as Echigo. So Echigo, and then they just put the and then gon is often used like with like kaiju kind of characters, or maybe like a dinosaur character.
What would you giant?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he is. Like, what does he represent? Like, I mean, what does he
looks
look
like? An Oni to me. He's got like the little horns.
All right. Yeah, the description didn't really say like what his direct inspiration was, but yeah, he represent he's what can I put it, like I guess he's connected or he was developed by what's the name of the place? This is got this long ass name, like the Japan Youth the Commerce International something, like what's the name, Ryan?
Your English one apparently was Junior Chamber International Japan.
Yeah, so I guess it's some yeah, it's some local like I guess almost like a chamber of commerce, like promoting local things. And so it's specifically this character that they're using it to promote the two famous things, I guess, which are the Thai chazuke, which is a food, like tea, and Thai is a type of fish, sea bream or something, and so tea, rice, and I guess it's all mixed up, something like that. And then water polo. The town is also known for water polo. So
is that supposed to be like swim trunks he's wearing? I guess
so.
Kind of look like it.
Yeah. So that's I
like how he has a picture of himself on his shirt.
I don't know why that is. I wonder if there's some special meaning to that. Ichigon has a picture of himself.
There's other things there. It's got like various little fruits and stuff, I'm guessing, from the area. There's also like a little bit of him in the top. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I'm one of our most famous experts.
I guess so. Yeah. So again, this
I'm not perverted.
I'm not Echigon. I'm Echigon.
Do we know his age? Is he 5 also?
No, I don't know. It didn't say in the description, unfortunately.
I think this is like a pretty good one for Japan, though. Like, I'm assuming he is an Oni, which makes him even more like Japanese style, as opposed to some of the weird, indistinct orange blob in a trench coat guys.
yeah he's at least he's more, I don't know, he's got more of a form and more like recognizable and more, like you can identify him later on. Sadandy is like, what is he?
In hindsight, I want to go back and like rate all of them and just like talk about if they actually represent what they're supposed to, just to give the other guy like a 1 out of 10.
Yeah, again, poor Sadandy. I don't know, I'm kind of starting to like Sadandy because he's just kind of like, I don't know, nothing.
I'm guessing that's why he got votes, is because he's just like the least representative guy on here.
And that makes him memorable.
I almost feel like he's like, oh, his hat's a lighthouse. Is there a lighthouse on the peninsula? And then people are like, nope.
No, it's like, okay, we just needed to put something on his head.
He just likes lighthouses.
Okay. There better be a lighthouse on that peninsula.
There's gotta be, but like, it would add to the like, why is this guy designed like this?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Ichigo number 3. Number 2, what's number 2?
Yurunakin.
Yeah, Yurunakin. But interestingly, Yurunakin is he has a pair. Like there's another mascot. They're always together, but for this contest, I guess they got split up. So Yurunakin and Inunakin are the two mascots that are always together.
Are they partners, or is it like a good guy, bad guy kind of thing?
I think they're partners. From I briefly looked at the Twitter account, the X account, and from the description, I got the impression they were like comrades, I guess. They were Russian, but okay. So the backstory to these two guys is Izumi Sano City is the name of the place, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So Izumi Sano City in Osaka is where they represent, and that is so. First of all, they're both like kind of wrestler. They look a little bit like superhero characters, but I think they're supposed to be like wrestlers.
Yeah, Japanese style masked wrestlers.
Yeah, and they both have a dog kind of design. Like Inunakin, which is the one that was lower, I think it was ranked like 16 or something. He has more of a human look, but with a dog mask, right?
They're basically the exact same appearance, except one is like humanoid proportioned, or the other one is like cartoony chibi giant head proportioned.
Exactly. Yeah. And the one that got number 2 this year, Yurunakin, was the more chibi kind of classic mascot style, like cartoony dog face style, right? And also like the body too, kind of puffy, round. So, but anyway, I'm going back to what they represent. So Izumi Sano City is the or where these famous manga duo is from. They go by the name of Yude Tamago, which literally means like boiled egg. But Yude Tamago is the creator of Kinnikuman, which is an old but very well-known Japanese anime and manga about like superhero wrestlers. They have like superpowers, but they're like wrestlers, right? So these two characters are an homage to the whole Kinnikuman thing because the creators were from that city. And yeah, it's still like you still see it around, even though it's not like airing or anything, but it's still got that cultural impact because it was so popular, I guess, back in maybe 70s or 80s, whenever it aired. I never watched it, but
I never did either. Recently, like a year ago, not super recently, I don't remember where it was at, but there was like a shop in a mall that was nothing but Kinnikuman stuff.
I've seen that. Yeah. I think I saw one in Odaiba in Tokyo.
And I don't even think it was like a pop-up temporary thing because they sometimes have that like for 1 month. It's just like all like One Piece stuff. I think it was like a permanent store.
Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah, so it's surprisingly still popular. I think there may have been a remake, more recently of some kind, but yeah, it still pops up in I don't know, like pachinko, maybe games and stuff like that.
So I did know the backstory before this, but it just made me thinking. Man, my English is getting bad from living in Japan. I actually kind of like the less popular one more than because he's actually in the art style of Kinnikuman.
Yeah. I kind of like him too more. I don't know, the Yurukyara one's cute and all, but yeah, I don't know.
Like generic Yuru character look. The other one looks like a Kinnikuman. Like I could actually imagine him appearing in the show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they promote the city and their delicious foods and whatever. Like that's what was written, and I don't know their age, so unfortunately.
And having. Oh crap! I just realized they have like a cutout in their shirt so you can see their abs. They're both having a well-defined 4-pack.
Oh. So yeah, don't get a 6-pack, get a 4-pack, guys.
Yeah. Maybe that's just how dog people do it.
I guess dogs. That's true. I'm not familiar with dog anatomy.
I will ask that. So we know that they are wrestlers because of the manga. Why are they dogs?
That's a good point that I can't answer. There's probably some, I'm sure there's some reason. Like all these designs are usually inspired by local things and there's some reason, but I don't actually know that.
I hope the creators literally just like, I like dogs.
Well, it could be as simple as the name of the city was Izumi Sano, and they just like, what starts with an E, like an I, right? Inunakin, and then kin comes from Kinnikuman. Izumi Sano. But I'm not sure why the na is there though. There might be some deeper reason, but I don't know, unfortunately. So yeah, that was number 2, and let's go to number 1.
Okay, so the way we have it written in Roman letters, I like more than the actual Japanese pronunciation because it says Udonnow.
Yeah, I think that's how they
Udonnow. Is it Udonnow?
So no. So the name of the mascot is Udonnow. And then when I looked at the character's mascot, the mascot's like Twitter X account, like the handle was written UDONNOW. Yeah, so
Udonnow.
Yeah, I guess they wanted to try to like emphasize that it was no, but instead it looks like now. So I don't know. But anyway, it's udon as in udon, like the noodles, and then no means brain. So udon no. And when you look at the design, you can look at the top of the head, and it looks like it's you can see the brains, but they're noodles. They're supposed to be noodles, like the udon noodles.
Which, to be honest, just looks like a brain.
Well, yeah, that's why it works. I think that's why it goes so well. And I like the quirky design. I like these like more like it's more memorable, certainly, but also kind of just funny and I think to me more memorable. But this character got number 1. It's the champion for 2023, and this character has been around since. Okay, well, let me give you the backstory. So the backstory for this is that this character used to be a human, but it loved udon noodles so much that it was eating it every day, and then it ate so many noodles that one morning it woke up and it had become like an udon fairy with udon for brains. So
and an exposed brain too. We can't forget that.
Exactly. Yeah. I guess it could like eat its own brain, but then it eats it and it goes back to the brain. Maybe. Just
So he's basically an udon zombie.
Yeah. He's an udonbi. Yeah. So.
Udonbi. Uzombi.
Uzombi. So that's the backstory, but the real world backstory is that this one was created in 2011, or well, it debuted in 2011, and this is back when like a lot of characters were coming out because there was a big boom in these like local mascots, especially, and then it wasn't popular at first. It would so the first year that it participated in the Yurukyara Grand Prix, the former contest, I think it made it to like around 170, rank 170, something like that, and then in following years it dropped down to like the 300s and maybe even lower. So people, apparently, according to an article that I was reading, people didn't really like it because it was kind of like creepy. It had like these exposed brains or whatever, some people didn't really like it too much, according to the article, right? But in recent years, or I don't know how far back, but more recently, it seems like it's caught on and it's been doing events like across Japan, different cities across Japan, and people have been, kind of liking that. They call it almost like a kimokawa aesthetic, which is like a creepy, cute aesthetic, and it's been kind of popular. So it took number one, and I thought it was a funny mascot that I'm happy seeing it at number one.
There's two photos we have here. One where he's just like a white blob, and one where he's wearing like a yellow, I don't know, jumpsuit.
Mm-hmm.
The white blob one I think is too simplistic for me. Like.
Mm-hmm.
There's no character. It's just a white thing with a brain.
Right. Yeah. I'm not sure which is the default or whatever. I just the one image was from the Yurukyara Grand Prix or the Yuruverse Grand Prix page, and then the other one was from the Twitter account. So okay. I don't know what the differences are, but anyway, yeah, congratulations to Udonnow or Udonnow. And oh, by the way, Udonnow comes from Kagawa Prefecture, which is, famous for its udon. It's known as like the udon prefecture. Like that's how famous it is. And the udon over there is quite good. I went there once and I did enjoy the udon. It's like a thicker, a little bit wider, if I remember correctly, but also it tastes good. It's I recommend if you're ever in Kagawa. That's kind of like it's not like it's a rural prefecture. There's stuff to see, but you definitely got to eat the udon. So that's the top 5. There were many more, but I thought I'd just pick a couple more, just the funny ones that happen to just, I don't know, I like. So let's move on to the first one that I picked, which was what did it rank in as?
27, I think.
27. Okay, so this one is named like Zushihokki. It's got like these elongated vowels. In English, it's usually just I see it written as Zushihokki. But yeah, this one is like it almost looks like a Slender Man, kind of like.
He's not that slender, but his face, this guy, he is the pervert. The other guy was not.
Yeah, this one's Echigon. Yeah, Echigon. So this is an infamous character. This is like super infamous. Like he goes viral and because he's just so creepy looking.
He looks like a bad guy from Power Rangers.
Could be. So Zushihokki represents he comes from Hokuto City in Hokkaido Prefecture, and it's that city, that area is known for hoki clams, hokkigai. So that's why you get the hoki in the name. And then it's also known for like the sushi that uses this hoki clam. So that's why you get the sushi. And it's almost like a joke character that has like caught on. And it's become known for like in the little description on the page, on the contest page, it says like its sales point is not that it's cute, it's that it's creepy. So it goes viral from time to time, and in one article that I was reading about the character, it said like, yeah, even the city like people know, like sometimes the kids will look at it and just start crying. So it just looks creepy. It's supposed to represent this like sushi clam sushi thing, and that's why like the body's kind of lumpy, and that's the sushi. I guess the head is the clam.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are the lumps the rice, like the shadi, or is the clam? Because he's
think
always white.
Yeah, he's just white and slender, kind of slender, kind of. I mean, it's a guy in a suit, and like it's not like a round suit like you would see in many other characters. It's just like a guy in tights and lumpiness and a big head and a weird face.
Yeah,
so
for whatever reason, they made the eyes like sunken in, which just make him look really creepy.
Yeah, like just imagine little kids like just freaking out.
Mom, he's gonna kill me! Like, yes, he is, dear, but there's nothing we can do to stop him.
Yes, let him touch you. He will carry you, and he will take you away. So this is just, I'm sure even some listeners probably already know this one, but I love this guy. He's just funny. He's just, they went the total opposite of what you would expect with a Japanese mascot. So Zushihokki. Anyway, yeah, so that was one that did make it on the list, but not to the top. And then this other one that I'd never seen before, I don't know, it just looks like a little kid drew it. It looks kind of like a poop, to be honest. But like a cartoon poop, like a Japanese little coil poop, right? But it's called Gunkanjima no Gansho-kun. Sorry, Gansho-kun. What did this one rank in as?
39.
39. Okay, so yeah, like like the poop emoji, like it, but this one's like dark and it's just not cute at all. It's got a.
I'm gonna be honest. When I first saw this, I thought he was promoting earthquakes. He's a giant brown thing, which again, I just saw the picture without reading anything, which I interpreted to be just like the dirt. Yeah. And then his hat is a city.
Yeah.
So apparently he's gigantic. And where's a city?
So yeah, it's I don't know. Like I don't really get it. Like, so apparently it's supposed to be like a reef, a kansho reef. So it's a pun on that. But it also represents Gunkanjima, which is this island off of Nagasaki, which is very, very well known. And it has a hat that's concrete. That's what the description said. It's got a concrete hat.
It says that, but there's buildings on it. Like, it's not just a hat.
And it's like such a simplistic little thing. It looks like, again, like either a pile of dirt or a poop, and just got like these weird, just like lips and two eyes, and that's it. And little legs coming out.
He's got a unibrow.
Oh, okay. So it's not cute at all. It really seems like something that was just slapped together last minute, but
it's coming to destroy you.
Yeah, but apparently it likes humans. That's what the description said.
To
eat you, yeah. So if you're in Nagasaki, this thing might come after you. So that's Gunkanjima no Gansho-kun. All right. So and then we'll finish it off with, I don't know, Ryan, do you have any of these mascots you want to highlight, whether they are on the list or any other ones, any things that you think are contenders for maybe next year?
So I did find two, but the second one so overshadows the first one. I don't even know if I want to bring him up.
Well, however you want to do it.
There was one who represents a tofu company in Kyoto.
Yeah.
Who is just supposed to be a manly man with a pompadour.
Yeah.
And he's always standing in a black trench coat with his back to the camera because he's just so manly, I guess.
Yeah. So I had never seen this one. So, but this one made it fairly high, right, on the contest this year.
I guess he's a real statue more than like a Yuta character, like just in front of their headquarters.
I guess so.
But people just voted for him anyway.
Yeah. So Johnny, this guy's just named Johnny. That's it. That's just Johnny. And apparently there's this Kyoto tofu shop called the Otokomae Tofu Ten, which literally means like the handsome men tofu shop. So I guess they created this character, which apparently is also a statue, that's supposed to kind of embody this like manly man, like a handsome guy. That's I don't know why it's called the manly like handsome tofu shop, but that exists in Kyoto somewhere, and this one got enough votes to rank up in the upper area of the rankings this year.
And he's got Beetlejuice pants.
Beetlejuice pants.
But then the true funny. Number one that is the best ever.
Yeah.
I think maybe you agree too.
Yeah.
Is Melonkuma.
Yeah.
Yubari City, Hokkaido Prefecture.
Yeah. This is another infamous one, and I don't think this one was in the top tier this year, but again, I don't know how many entries there were, and plus Melonkuma has probably ranked pretty high in the past in previous years. So, that's I'm sure he's competed and done pretty well because this is just such a famous one. So
he is the best one.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome.
There's no argument about it. He is the best one.
Yeah. So Melonkuma looks like this genetic experiment gone wrong. Like it's like this crazy bear with a melon head that's got like blood on its teeth, and it's got this like whole scary look, and it represents
his head. It kind of looks like a mask in some of the arts.
Oh, okay. So I don't even know that. But
as a mask.
Yeah. So
you know how Kumamon went for like a cute, lovable bear?
Yeah.
They went the other direction with this guy.
This is like nightmare like bear.
He has a giant head with a giant mouth and giant blood-stained teeth as part of his official art. And there's photos of him at like little festivals picking up screaming, terrified children and pretending to eat them.
Yeah. He's great. He's great. So again, Yubari City in Hokkaido is where this one comes from, and Yubari is known for the Yubari melon. So, and Hokkaido in general is known for bears. So I guess it was a perfect combination. But again, as Ryan said, instead of going with the cute route, they said we're going to go the complete opposite route and make this thing that's going to scare children. And I love it. I love this guy.
I honestly suspect someone there was like, we shouldn't teach kids bears are cute because bears are dangerous. So let's make him horrible.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good lesson. It is. It's just I don't know if all the parents in Hokkaido are down with that, but maybe they are. Maybe, who knows? So that's
I love how it's a bunch of adults taking photos of screaming children.
It's like, yeah. Can you hold him? Well, yeah. Keep going. Yeah.
Mommy, why?
No, just
hang on the camera.
I want to get some pictures. So yeah, that one was not on the top like whatever 40. I don't think the contest has published the rest of the list, only like the top 40. So I don't think Melonkuma was on that, but I'm sure it's somewhere there. I doubt they didn't participate. But again, in the past they've done quite well, I'm sure. So anyway, this is like very famous mascot. So yeah, I'll leave a link for the rankings if you want to take a look at more. There are plenty more. There's some weird ones. There's some funny ones. There's some plain old cute ones. There's some weirdo like human ones that just like it's just like a guy, like.
And there's one that's just an orange thing wearing a trench coat.
Yeah, that made it to like number 3, I think. Number four. Yeah, I don't know. Sadandy. Congrats, Sadandy. So if you want to take a look more of those, link in the show notes. You can do that. And yeah.
Before we move on from Sadandy, he's not even really Dandy. He's just an orange thing.
They just went with the name and then they said, okay, how do we make this work? And they didn't have any good ideas after that.
It's like the designer was told to like make this art, forgot about it, so they just grabbed something his like 2-year-old drew and like, yep, this is him.
There you go. This is so good. Well,
it's so relatable for children.
Just to finish off, I remember this character for Kobe, the city of Kobe, and it was called Kobe. And it was just like a black bear. Like there was nothing remarkable about this bear. It was just a black like teddy bear looking thing. Like this is so boring. They just went with bear, right? Like because it was Kobe and bear. And I go, come on, like you can do better than that. Yeah, Kobe. Yeah. I don't even know if that mascot is still in use. This is from years and years ago. So maybe they retired it. Hopefully Kobe has a better mascot. So
is Kobe even famous for bears?
No.
Like almost everywhere I think has bears, so there probably are bears, but I've never heard of Kobe bears.
I mean, Kobe is famous for beef, even though they don't raise them in Kobe. They raise them outside of Kobe. Yeah, and then cafes and being a port town, and
China.
Yeah, and Chinatown. Yeah. So I don't know. Kobe, come up with a better mascot. So
10 years ago, Kobe, you can do better.
Yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah, maybe they have a wonderful one. I'll have to check. But yeah, that's it. That's Yuruverse Grand Prix. It's always fun to see some of the new ones, especially, or maybe not even new, but the ones that I haven't seen before. Link in the show notes if you want to take a look at more. We'll leave it at that. We'll be back with more. This is going to be the last episode of 2023. So happy 2024, and we'll be back with some other crazy topic in the new year. So see you next time.
Goodbye.